Most of us have bought insurance when traveling, but how would you go about getting insurance for flying to the moon? Hey, I'm Alex Lam. In this episode of Stories of the World, we're going to be talking about the Apollo insurance cover. Now, one of the biggest problems the astronauts were facing was that they didn't know if they were coming back to Earth. So let's step into their shoes for a moment. They have wife and kids, possibly a mortgage and their parents to take care of. If they were to die during the mission, it would not only change their lives, but the lives of everyone around them. So naturally, they would want to prepare for that financially and possibly get some sort of insurance involved just in case something happens. And this is where the story begins. Now, NASA did have its own insurance program, but it, and I quote, did not cover astronauts when flying. It was considered high risk and experimental, according to Brandy Dean, a spokesman for NASA's Johnson Space Center. So the astronauts had to find insurance on their own. The boys tried private insurance, but it simply wasn't worth it. And to be fair, if the astronauts were going to an insurance company and letting them know, hey guys, we're gonna be jumping into a rocket, flying to the moon, possibly play a little bit of golf, collect some moon rocks, jump back in the rocket, and fly back down to Earth. I don't know, how are you meant to cover that, right? And what makes it even worse is 2 years prior, Apollo 1's entire crew died from a launch rehearsal. A launch rehearsal, that's right, it was just practice and they all died. Like, what are the chances of Apollo 11 flying and succeeding? So this put the astronauts in a bit of a pickle until they came up with the idea to sign covers. What a cover is, it's pretty much just an envelope with a snazzy picture on it. So in the case that the astronauts don't make it back, the family could cash out the covers. The Apollo 11 crew would sign covers whenever they had time during pre-launch quarantine, pass them on to an astronaut that was not flying, and then the not flying astronaut would get them postmarked in Houston and would distribute it to their families. Now, I couldn't find a proper reason why they chose covers, but during that time, stamp collecting was very popular, so I believe that could have played like a major factor in why they chose covers. The covers were exceptionally done. 214 were made. The covers had 3 types. The first one has them on the moon with Earth on the background. The second has faces of the astronauts, and the third of an eagle landing on the moon. Yeah, I know, that's super American. Split between the 3 astronauts, Armstrong has 47, Colin has 63 covers, and Buzz Aldrin had 104 covers. Each of them devised their own serial numbering key for their covers. For example, Edwin Eugene Aldrin would have EEA1, and so on and so on. One awesome fact is Neil Armstrong's 47 insurance covers were never offered on the market. He was still in possession of all 47, with none being distributed or destroyed. Fortunately, they did make it back alive, and their covers are now worth a fortune. The first time an Apollo 11 insurance cover was sold was in 1990s, and it sold for 30,000 USD. The most recent one sold in May 2019 for 90,000 USD. So if we work it out, they made 214 covers, and if each of them sold for around 90,000 each, that's about $10 million. And as you can see on this website, which I'll link down below, the covers are meticulously tracked, which serial number sold for how much and from where. Now, I'm not gonna lie, after finding out about this, I kind of wanted to be an astronaut, so, I would sign like 10,000 covers. You know what I'm saying, man? And then when I come back to Earth, man, I am ballin'. I'm gonna buy myself an island, maybe my own spaceship. The insurance cover continued till Apollo 16, the lunar voyage. Now, I'm not gonna go into much detail, but let's just take a look at all the insurance covers, okay? So the Apollo 11 had 3 types. I really like the first one. It's got the astronauts up close and us on the background. The other 2, really cool as well. The eagle landing on the moon, like I said before, super American. Apollo 12 had 2 types. Both quite similar, both had mission emblems, different color and words. I like the flying ship type on the emblem type thing. Apollo 13 had 2 types as well, mission emblem and words. The picture really reminds me of Ninetales from Pokemon. Apollo 14 has two types, featuring a shooting star, both very similar. The notable difference is the stamps used. Apollo 15 had one type. Apparently they were going for an exploration type look to the emblem. Still features the red, white, and blue. Apollo 16 has one type, mission logo with astronaut pin insignia on both sides. These insurance covers are worth thousands of dollars and have such a great story behind them. But believe it or not, they're considered to be low-end collectibles in the space collecting community, which really surprised me until I saw what the other space collectibles were. You know, we're talking about actual equipment they use to fly to the moon, right? Like the book manuals and whatnot. So, you know, still quite understandable. So that's the story of the Apollo insurance covers. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more stories. I'm Alex Lam, and this is Stories of the World.